Hello, ballers, and a bro fist to you all. I'm slightly off centre. I first and foremost, to you wonderful people out there, thank you for your patience. I'm 2 minutes late, and I'm also not had a chance to have a shower, and not had a chance to eat. Not happy. Not happy. There's a universal rule in my book. I don't hate many things. I don't hate many things. One thing I do hate is intolerable rudeness. I can't stand it, intolerable rudeness. Kind of weird considering I work on YouTube, right? And some people are intolerably rude. But that's in the internet world. In the real world, I can't stand it, and it's very difficult for me to hold my tongue. I finished my wonderful 8-hour stream. We did a solid 8 hours today playing awesome games, which I'll get to shortly. As I went to get my breakfast, which I should have had this morning, but I didn't because I wanted to start streaming, people knock at my door. These are maintenance people. There's a huge problem with my home. It is falling down on one side. There is an extension. Somebody has built something on the side of the house to add more rooms and done a bad job of it. It is pulling at the side of the house, and there are cracks appearing in my actual home where this thing is pulling away. Big problem, right? So we've been complaining about this for 6 months. 6 months complaining. Fix it, please come and check. And a guy comes and checks and he says, this needs a structural engineer. Structural engineer. That's what this needs. We need a professional to come in. Okay, I say. No problem. No problem, buddy. You go and get him. Then our landlord. We don't own this house. We rent it. Our landlord says no. I won't pay for a structural engineer. We had one a few years ago and he said it was fine. But these cracks are new, I say. Maybe we should get it checked again. No. And then they turn up unannounced. Workmen who know they're coming here and have to travel here. They turn up unannounced while I'm eating. At the time that I have told these people specifically, do not come to my house. You can come at any time of the fucking day. Anytime. You can come anytime before 4 PM. Anytime you want. You want to come at 5 in the morning? Come. Anytime. Just don't come between 4 and 5. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. And they turn up. And they bring the landlord. I've never met him in my life. He's a massive dick. And he stands there and he ignores me. And I don't tolerate that either. I've got bean juice on my face from trying to eat my beans. Bean juice on my face. I have a dog in my hands that wants to eat this man alive. And my house isn't as clean as it possibly would be should I have known that the landlord that I had never met before who owns this house would be coming. Right? Motherfucker blanks me. Then I can hear him walking around my home. These cracks have been here for ages. These have been here for ages. I'm now looking at the clock. It's 4:15. It's 4:30. It's 4:45. 5. My daily starts soon. And while he's there, and ahhing, the rage starts to build to the point where one of the maintenance guys puts his hands on my shoulder and says, don't say anything to him, he's still your landlord. And I know this. I don't need to be told. I'm biting my tongue. But I apologise because I'm incredibly angry. Incredibly angry. To the point where I just had to ask the other two to leave because they were stood outside the front of the house making Ben go crazy. I said, please move down the road and call me as soon as I'm done. Call me. But that's okay. We'll wipe it away. We'll wipe it away. Angry. Angry. I hate rudeness. If you're coming to someone's house, call them. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to call them. You have my number. Call me. Let me know. I'm coming. I'm bringing the landlord. Nice information. Nice information. Today was a wonderful day. We finished Batman Arkham City. Glorious ending, by the way. Glorious ending. And we moved on to a game which was a unsung hero of the year, of this year, and was on a Steam sale. Some of you might kick yourselves now. And we decided to play it. I knew this game was good going in. Everybody said this game is amazing, but nobody bought it. We live in a world where everybody wants sequels. Call of Duty will sell regardless. But a new type of game, that doesn't really sell. And this game is apparently amazing. So we bought it and we played it and we started it today and it is fan-fucking-tastic. Sleeping Dogs. If you like any style of GTA, play Sleeping Dogs. It's awesome. We've had such a blast on it so far. We're going to be playing it for a while. It is glorious. Can I point out, can I point out, because I know I'm late to the party on this, but we're PC gamers. As PC gamers, we have this disconnect between consoles, which is weird, because most of our games come from consoles, don't they? They come from consoles. They're all console port games, but we don't like that, because we're PC gamers. We keybind. Some of us, anyway. Some of us, anyway. And we're PC gamers, and we keybind, and we like having all our options. We like having our mouse, and we like having all this kind of stuff. This is the best purchase I have made in the longest time. A wired Xbox 360 controller. And I'm not fucking kidding me. Kidding. If you play any other games than World of Warcraft, get one of these. They're cheap as shit. They're better than any graphics card that you can get. They're amazing. They're absolutely ridiculous. And you will enjoy your games a million times more. They're so good. So, so good. The difference it makes to your gaming is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They're crazy. Your wireless one needs a little bit of work, but if you are any sort of variety PC gamer, get an Xbox 360 wired controller. I know a lot of you have had them forever. I know I'm late to the party. I was using a PlayStation 3 with software to make it work. It's not even close. Not even close. It's ridiculous. It's just improved the fun of games no end to me. I tried about 6 or 7 games last night using the Xbox controller that I previously used the PS3 on, and the difference was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But if you don't play, if you want to play FPS, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you play any other kind of game, go for it. The difference is ridiculous. Okay, let's get some questions. A lot of people have been sending me questions, and I'm kind of ignorant. I kind of wanted to do the mailbox, but it doesn't work, right? You can't have a daily in a mailbox. It's better for me to sift through some questions and kind of discuss various things. One question that keeps coming up is kind of getting that message out on the internet. It's not that easy, right? I'm trying to get you a message across, but people come from different countries. They hear different things. They might hear half a comment and so on and so forth. Getting a message out on the internet, not the easiest thing in the world. One thing I talked about on the web show, one of the dailies, was the fact that my audience is changing and growing as I change and grow. We're still developing styles of videos put out to you guys and doing quite well at it, but the audience is changing. And I said something which came across to other people as that there's less and less people playing WoW. Therefore, I've got to change what I do on YouTube. No, 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 no. That's not what I said, okay? And loads of people have got this confused. What I said is that my audience, and a big proportion of my audience, no longer plays WoW. My audience, specifically you guys, a big proportion of them no longer play World of Warcraft. But they enjoy the content that I create. As such, I need to grow and develop with the audience and expand my horizons a little bit. Hence, a lot of variety gaming going on now. On my stream, we've been playing loads of different games. The whole team's playing different games. Ghosty doesn't play WoW anymore. I still play WoW. I still enjoy it. It's fine. And there'll still be WoW content going forward. Don't want people to think that I've stopped making WoW content, which should be pretty obvious, as there's WoW content for the last, like, 5 days. Like, 5 days. But what I did want to point out is that the audience, you guys themselves, have grown to the point where you're no longer playing WoW, but you still enjoy the content we make. And therefore, I'm growing with you and doing different things and mixing things up and generally trying to do the best job I can. Because the audience is there. We like your content. We don't play WoW anymore, but we enjoy the stuff that you make. Therefore, we're growing and we're evolving, we're developing, and all that kind of thing. So I don't want people to think that I did some doomsayer thing, where I was like, nobody's playing WoW anymore, not going to make YouTube videos. No, that's not the case at all. Not even close, not even close. Right, 2 big questions that I got were for 2 ends of the spectrum, which is always pretty good. So it probably affects near enough everybody in this chat, and everybody who's watching right now. Firstly, it's those people who just joined the WoW channel, okay, or just joined my channel. And it was all about the fact that he's just rejoined and he wants to get into raiding. Or he's just joined World of Warcraft, wants to get into raiding. Discovered the channel, discovered all the things that I talk about, watched the dailies. What is this raiding you're talking about? I just do LFR kind of thing. These people that WoW is really working hard for. Blizzard is putting their fucking ass into gear to help you guys out. And he wants to start, he wants to get into it, but he can't do it. One is fear. Genuinely admits I'm afraid of getting into raiding. I've watched all the guides. I've watched all the videos of the boss kills. I've watched all that stuff, but I'm still afraid. Still afraid of getting into raiding. And the other side of it is, how the hell do I even get there? It's kind of a topic we've touched on, but now it's a nightmare. Now is a nightmare because between you and a raid guild, there is a huge moat. And this moat is filled with one thing. What is it? What is the moat filled with that you have to build a bridge over? You literally have to climb tooth and claw. You have to work all the way to climb yourself through the moat to find a successful raiding guild. Cesspool guilds. They are the plague of World of Warcraft. The plague. They are the absolute plague. The cesspool guilds fill and block and build a giant wall right in front of you. And I'm not talking just about the guilds. I'm not talking just about the guilds that want to suck you in order to be your repair, just to grab your repair coins. I'm not just talking about those guys. I'm talking about Little Billy. Little Billy isn't very good at World of Warcraft. Little Billy has been playing World of Warcraft for a long time, and Little Billy just can't seem to get it. Some people just aren't very good at WoW. It's fine, right? Some people aren't. I'm not particularly great at painting. I don't hate it. Little Billy decides that the only way he's going to get his precious sword, to get his precious trinket, and to get his precious armor is to start his own little 10-man guild. And Little Billy decides to stand in trade, and Little Billy has a very convincing argument as to why you should join his guild. And if you don't join Little Billy's guild, it doesn't matter, because Little Greg is doing the same thing on the other side. And you might think, why don't Billy and Greg team up? That's because Little Billy and Greg can't kill shit. It's not always their fault. They're not dickheads, they're just not very good at the game. But they know that if they can muster 10 of your souls and drag them into a raid, that perhaps a couple of bosses will die. And therefore Little Billy will get his shiny epic. But then that raid fails. So next week you join Little Greg's raid, and so on and so forth. And there are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of these guilds standing in your way. They want you to join them, and they will give you stuff to join them. They will make you happy, and they will make you feel like the best player in the world, and then just as soon drop you as soon as you are no longer useful. And this stands between every new player, because a new player doesn't know where to go. A new player doesn't realize why going to trade chat to join a guild isn't always the most successful option in the world. But where else do you go? Do you go to the Realm forums? Does anybody really read the Realm forums anymore? Realm forums used to make sense when there was a Realm community. Realm forums were a good thing when you knew other people on your realm, when you spotted that guild tag and you knew who they were. But Realm forums have died a death. Some people still post on there, every now and again, but nowhere near as many people as used to post on there before cross-realm stuff, because your realm doesn't mean a whole lot anymore. There's not much pride taken in a realm, so where else do you go? Trades out, realm forums are out. Where do you go to find these guilds? WoW Progress? Good start. A good start. If you are just doing LFR and you're kind of meandering around and you're like, oh, I'm going to keep something, and you're just kind of stuck in the circle jerk, you keep joining 10-mans and you feel that sense of accomplishment that you've joined a guild, you've made it, you're going to get into this guild and you're going to raid, and then you raid and it falls apart and half the members go and join Little Greg's guild and all that kind of stuff, and you end up just going round and round and round. WoW Progress is the best place to start. It is. Because you want to find a guild that has at least killed some stuff. Certain things to look for is a little bit of advice for you. Certain things to look for is a guild that has killed some bosses. Preferably check whether they've killed them all in one night. It's a huge problem that's out there, is guilds that have a lot of kills but got them all in one night. Suspicious as shit, especially if they're just stuck on like 5 out of whatever. 5 out of 12 is it? And they're just like, well, we killed everything in one night, and then we've been together since 2007. Things like that could be a big problem. You want to watch out for that kind of stuff. Look for guilds that have had regular progress. Check WoW Progress. They have the dates on there. Check your realm. Check your server. Look for a guild that has regular kills, that's doing progress, and that are actively updating WoW Progress is a big one. If you see that people haven't updated WoW Progress in 8 months, probably not the guild for you. Alright, that's probably another cesspool guild that was set up when Little Billy went on WoW Progress and he set up his little thing and he typed it out saying Billy needs all classes, everybody can apply, we're a fun social guild, blah 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 blah. You want to check that out. Be very careful of guilds that haven't updated WoW Progress. It takes 2 minutes to change what classes are on there. Be a little clear, be a little careful. They will let you join. You'll find the one. Just because you're an LFR raider doesn't mean that these guilds won't give you a chance if they're looking for somebody. A lot of people seem to think, yeah, but nobody will ever accept me. It's not the case. Make a World of Logs. Check my channel for a World of Logs guide. It's on there. Get it recorded. Show your performance. It's the best thing you can come in is all guns blazing. Show your performance. Then we move to the top end, which was really cool. Top end. I want to read this one out. This is my first expansion where I raided. I love it and want to be the best that I can be. So last tier I raided at about 1100 world area, 1100 guild in the world. And that was decent, like whatever. But now this tier I'm raiding at like 500 world area. And I was just wondering what could be some good goals to have for the rest of this tier. And the expansion currently, I have to play an alliance as a fire mage. Why is that a problem? Does anyone know why that's a problem? Why is it a problem that he plays an alliance fire mage? The pros are going to know the answer. The pros are really going to know the answer. Everyone's horde? No, not really. That's not the problem. No haste. Yeah. You're not going to find many, if any. I can't say I've checked. But you're not going to find many alliance fire mages doing top WoW progress kills. Or World of Logs kills. You're not going to find many at all, if any. I'd love to see if someone could check that and just post it in the chat. Somebody I can trust. Looking at you, Scanzer. Don't trust you. Of exactly where the first alliance mage comes in the charts. I bet it's in the hundreds. So, he plays an alliance fire mage, making it incredibly hard to pass well because of the troll ratio. I try and pass as high as possible, of course, and I'm currently getting at most in the 80th percentile. That's a lot of people above you. Consider how many people play fire mages in raid. 20% are above you. So my main question is, what would be some realistic goals or whatever for me to have for the rest of the expansion and going into the next? Long-term goals I have that would be perhaps for the next expansion's second tier. For example, if I was going to name something, it would be something like get into Midwinter, one of the top alliance guilds, if not the top alliance guild in the world. Is it Midwinter? Before people rage at me. Pass in the top 5 constantly. And of course, being the second best guild, Midwinter, I would aim for something higher, perhaps Blood Legion, in the future. My current short-term goals I'm thinking of for this tier expansion is pass where I am now, finish next tier in the top 200 in the world, question mark. So people are still looking for Alliance one. People still looking for the Alliance one. I could like that. And it's... setting goals is actually a reasonable thing. Setting goals is a great life lesson. It's setting where you want to be at a certain amount of time, and then you can look back and say what went wrong. Were your goals too over the top? Did you push too far? Did you say something like... a great example is, I forget his name, but as I was an economics student at university, we were taught to always set a goal. One particular great philanthropist went on to say, I want to be a CEO of a company by 22. And he did it at 19. Setting goals like that is always quite nice. If you're in a top 500 guild now, and you're posting quite high on World of Logs for an alliance, where do you want to set your goals for the end of this expansion? Kind of ideas have you got there? You're a guy who wants to be #1 in the world. Your aim is to reach Blood Legion. That's where you want to be. You're an American, you're loving to play Fire Mage, you want to reach Blood Legion, but at the moment you're in a top 500 guild and you're passing quite well. What do you want to do for this next expansion? What do you want to do for your next expansion? Any ideas? Any ideas? My top goal, I want to be a good raider with Stag. Okay. Faction change? That's not really a goal. Faction changing is more of a process. I wouldn't say faction change is a goal. Not many ideas. Okay, not many, if any. Pray they remove racials is 6.0. Pray for green fire. I would say something like this. And this might sound douchey, but this is how World of Warcraft works. You're currently in a guild that is clearing content. That's good. Siege of Orgrimmar is very, very near. This is what I would do if I was still in the mindset that I wanted to reach a top level guild ASAP. One thing I would accept that is if you're in the top level of guilds and you're reaching sort of top 500, you're probably not that far away from being able to play in those guilds. Your restriction will be how often you can play, and you need to be realistic about your goals. You want to reach a top level guild, it means sacrificing certain amounts of real life when new raids comes out. That's the most difficult part. Being a good player actually comes kind of second, or being one of the best players, to the fact that you can attend raids when you need to be there. Alright, as stupid as that sounds, that's how it works. That's how hardcore first level raiding works, is you need to be able to show up Otherwise, you are useless and no good. If the raid cannot be formed, the raid cannot go ahead. Simple as that. I would aim for something like this. Firstly, stay in your guild for the Siege of Orgrimmar until it's clear and get some gear. Then you're in a position to start looking and shopping around for guilds. Okay? You should clear Siege of Orgrimmar in plenty of time before the end of Mists of Pandaria. The end of Mists of Pandaria, or the latter half, after 5.4 has been released for the top-end guilds, is usually a nightmare. Simple reason is, nobody wants to fucking raid anymore. The top-end guilds don't give a shit. Some players do. Some players want the best of the best gear, best in slot. A lot of the top-end guild players will not be asked about raiding anymore once the last boss, Garrosh, has fallen. Let me close this window. Let me close this window. Ugh. Go away, dog. You mad, dog? You mad? They won't care. The top-end guilds won't care. Your top 100 and 200, they won't give a shit. Some players, not everybody, you have these determined few. I find them really annoying. For reasons I've stated in the past, I find these guys really annoying who feel the need to raid constantly, even after we've cleared all the content. Right? When I joined Method for the last time, I was clearing Dragon Soul. Why? Was always in the back of my mind is, why am I clearing Dragon Soul? Why are we even here? Why are we doing 2 raids a week to raid the Dragon Soul Heroic? Why? I have no idea why we're doing this. It seems like the most futile experience of my entire life. As such, new players come into the fold, and this is where your opportunity is. By that point, you should be near enough clearing Garrosh Hellscream, and therefore you'll start picking up good items. You'll start to get some good gear, which people like, and you'll start to be able to show up on various passes. That then means that when these players start to fall away, gaps open up. If I was to say a realistic goal for a player such as you who wants to be at the top, is that after Siege of Orgrimmar is out, and you've completed it, and you're comfortable with the fights, therefore you're not going to make a noob of yourself in your new guild, is you start looking for a very high-end guild. Not just top 200. Start looking at top 100 and work your way back. Players are going to be needed. Good players. And they don't want to drag slack along. They want players to fill the spot. We need mages for this fight. We need you to come along. We need you need this place filling. Simple as that. We'll take anybody at this point as long as he's got some gear and start doing things like that. Okay? Start doing things like that. That's what I would advise you to do. And you will jump the queue massively. Don't settle for something like top 300. Don't do that. Siege of Orgrimmar is going to be a death knell for a lot of players. Because once it's dead, they won't want to raid anymore. They just won't do it. And that's where your opportunity comes in. For any of you out there who are looking to move up the ranks very, very quickly, your time is coming. But don't be premature. Wait till you've done the bosses. Feel them out. Know how your class works there. Then you're ready to go in a comfortable position with some items on your back and get into the good guilds. Okay? That's how I would do it. That's what I really do. Always good. This is a gap period. Right now is terrible for moving guilds, by the way. If you're looking to move up in the ranks, right now is terrible. Don't do it. Seriously. If there are people asking you from top guilds to transfer, don't do it right now. For the simple reason is the new raid is coming and something horrible happens to trialists when a new raid comes out. The most horrific experience ever is Johnny fucking 12 Fingers from wherever apparently wants to start playing again because he wants to check out the new raid, and you are instantly benched. Absolutely instantly benched. It happens all the time, believe me. Instantly benched. You join the guild, you'll do really well, but then Johnny comes back and Johnny's hilarious as shit and can play his class just as well as you can, and instantly you're on the fucking bench. And it's a nightmare. And I've seen trialists just get so angry, and rightfully so, but it doesn't matter because we trust the other guy and we know he's going to show up every single time for the progress. We don't care if he leaves for farm because that's when you'll come back in and the whole point is going to be wasted. Alright guys? Any questions about that? I'm sorry for the sort of rushed and angry daily. Don't be premature. Make sure you feel. Make sure you feel. Is there any questions out there? A lot of you are saying that I couldn't really join raids and all that. What are the problems you've actually had? What are the problems you've actually had? Yeah, that's 30 minutes. That's what we aim for with the daily. It's a 30-minute show. You don't think LFR is required? If you were going to join any of the lower level guilds where you would start your raiding journey, LFR is an absolute must. Absolute must. If you're going to join a guild that's like a 10-man that's done some raiding and is doing something, LFR is an absolute must. Absolute. I don't mean you need every item from LFR, but you would expect to have something. You would expect to have some LFR loot. It would be inconceivable that you would ask yourself to join a guild that's like Throne of Thunder and you haven't done any LFR. That would be terrible. How about from normal to heroic? Normal to heroic is one of the easiest steps you'll ever make. Because depending on your progress in normal will dictate your progress in heroic. Look at the members of Stark. I like to hold them up as a kind of banner of what you can do. Look at all the members of Stark Industries who had never raided and now are part of 25-man heroic guilds. There's a few. There's a few. And there's even more from around the world who've done the same thing. It's entirely possible. Normal experience is nothing to be shaking your fist at. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. Really isn't. I have a problem where I recently joined a heroic progression guild and they've taken me from LFR to heroic and I just can't get my head around the fights. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time. You've done a big leap there. You've done an enormous leap. An enormous leap because LFR to heroic, well, LFR isn't raiding. So it's almost as if you're saying your first ever look at raiding was heroic raiding. That ain't easy. That's not easy. I don't envy your position. My advice is you're probably very undergeared compared to their heroic progression teams, and therefore don't worry about them expecting magical DPS out of you. They won't. Any guild that is expecting some LFR raider to come in and beat its heroic geared raiders is retarded. So don't worry about that, and just focus on learning the little intricacies of the fight. Okay, learn how they work. Just take your time. Look at what other people are doing. Look at what the healers are doing. Look at what the tanks are doing, and try to understand it. All right. Don't worry too much about your damage. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, if you're 5'10" and they're 5'34", why bother worrying about it? Just turn your damage meter off and learn the fights. Learn the fights. Question. I need that too. Oh, sorry, what was it, Corona? What is the best way of getting normal kill achievements when we can't get into pugs with no achievements? Just came back after leaving around Dragon Soul. You're going to struggle because people in the general population of WoW who put pugs together aren't very nice people. They want to sort of guarantee their run. And the only way, and it's not their fault, the only way they can really do that is by asking if you have done this fight already. Depending on where you are in your financial situation, I would recommend you ask politely if someone from the Council of Ballers on the US side, or someone in Stark Industries, if there is possibility you can join for a normal clear or something like that. I'm not au fait with their affairs. Perhaps they will say no. It's possible. But other than that, your choices are to buy it, as horrible that is, or try and put that pug together, but then you put the pug together yourself, but you then become Little Billy. And you have to be very careful about making yourself into a Little Billy to try and achieve something. Because you're basically asking other people to carry you. You're asking for their achievements and stuff, and you won't learn anything. It's a very slippery slope to get into. I'm not saying it's the easiest one, but there are opportunities out there to make that easy for you. There are guilds. There's not only the guilds that are run by the community here, but there are guilds out there that are willing to let people in and invite them. Okay? There are people who are willing to do that. I've stopped raiding for school. When I come back, is it realistic to jump right back into heroic raiding? Absolutely. Absolutely. Use your previous content and let them know the situation. They will have had other players in the same situation. It might not be your old guild, but don't set your sights lower if that's not going to make you happy. Don't do that. When I moved down from my tier rating, I moved from World First down to World 60th or 20th or whatever we were, I knew that was going to happen and I was fine with it. I accepted that beforehand. Don't go from heroic to normal if you feel at home in heroic, because normal will feel like dog shit. I'm absolutely serious. Normal mode, to anybody who's raided heroic for an extended period of time, normal feels ridiculous. It feels horrible, and I wouldn't do it. You'll be bored to tears, and you'll absolutely hate it. But yes, absolutely. It would be unheard of for you to take that step back. Unheard of to do that. Any other questions before we do one, and I can finally get some breakfast? Any tips to counter the attendance boss? Being killing us the entire expansion, I want to cut it off now. Why aren't people attending is the first question. Why aren't people attending? Is it because your rules are too slack? Is it because you had a lot of rotation and people didn't really expect, or they thought somebody else would fill in for them? Is it because a lot of people had grandiose ideas of raiding and it wasn't really for them and you're forever recruiting? Was it something like that? Some of the things you could do is you find out who your most committed players are, the guys who always attend, and you say to them, this is what we're going to do. We can't deal with this attendance issue anymore. It's a pain in the ass. We're about to start a new raid with like a solid roster. What you need to do is say, look, we're going to recruit heavily. I'm going to recruit heavily. I would appreciate if you guys could stick around. Some of them won't. But that's okay, because they're not really the dedicated few. If they really want to stick with you, they're not that dedicated. And plus, nobody's committed to stay in any guild whatsoever. But recruit heavily. And we expected, I could tell you as a guild in the World 60th, we expected 1 every 12 recruits to actually be worthwhile. If that's a number you can base around. People seem to think we need a priest, they recruit a priest. Doesn't work that way. If we needed a priest, we recruit sort of 4 or 5 priests. And then see what's what. Because you need to find the diamonds in the rough. You need to find them. And you need to know what you're looking for as well. You're not just checking HPS meters or whatever. You need to see who the hell shows up, who does their thing, who's nice in chat. Get them to play in 5-mans. Recruitment, internal recruitment forum posts are really good. They're a really good idea. And by that I mean the officers and members, specifically members have access to this. They have access to players' trial threads. So if you recruit Little Billy, somewhere on the forum that he cannot see, there is a thread saying, new recruit Little Billy. And you hope that members play with him. Did anything happen there? Take screenshots and all that kind of thing. All good. All good. Okay? Those are really good. They're really good. Any other questions? 25. Well, remember, it's summer. Please bear in mind, for anybody who thinks it's the attendance boss is one little thing, remember, it is summer. It is summer. People don't want to raid in summer. Can you blame them? Some people just don't get it. I wasn't one of those people. I would just complain that it was hot while raiding. Other people are like, it's summer. Some countries, it's quite common culture to book an entire series of events for the summer. We don't do that in the UK, so it didn't really sit well with me. I didn't understand what these guys were saying, but they spend a lot of time booking events to do over the entire summer, and raiding just doesn't even come into it. So you need to bear that in mind. Summer, yeah, I think for the UK, it's not really a thing. But for certain, especially European countries, like countries like Greece, summer means they're not raiding. We had the Greek boss, was what we called it in Kill Count Lost. The Greek boss. The Greek boss, when summer hit, is everybody just stopped raiding. And we had something like 50% of our raiders were Greek. And they all just vanished. It's summer. And they didn't understand it. You would say, why aren't you turning up for raids? And they would just say, it's summer. They don't get it. It's summer. And we're like, yeah, but we're still raiding. It's like, it's summer. And that's all the answer you get from them. They totally don't get it. And that's fine. That's okay. It's just not a different part of the culture. But remember, it is summer, so you don't need to go crazy about that kind of stuff. How do you feel like the Wild Tea's not giving it to the public, just the people at Comic-Con? Okay, we'll finish on that question. Otherwise, everybody's going to ask me their personal guild problems. Not that I complain at that, but I do want to get something sweet. I'm sorry. I'm selfish git. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with it. Because it's why we can't have nice things. Isn't it? They showed the WoW movie teaser at Comic-Con, and it's not on the internet. How Blizzard did that, by the way. Mother of God. How Blizzard managed to keep that off the internet. But at Comic-Con, they showed the WoW movie teaser. And it was just a teaser, and it's nothing to do with the actual movie, apparently. It was just the confirmation that the movie is in existence. They showed a human warrior, apparently, as he picks up a shield, trek through the desert. One can only assume it's Tanaris, and then go into a fight with an orc before it said, Warcraft, the movie. They're not going to release it to the public because Warcraft, the movie, and the guy in the desert and all that kind of stuff isn't part of the movie. And if they show it, every nom 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 derpa 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 across the world will go, well, them graphics are disappointing. I expected it to look different. God, it's going to suck if it looks like that. And instantly, all this crap happens, and then Blizzard's going, this isn't what the fucking movie looks like. It doesn't look anything like this. We're just confirming that the movie exists. That's all we're doing, is confirming the movie exists. Oh, it looks like a fucking cutscene. Bullshit. Sam Raimi's for life. All that kind of shit. So we're not going to get to see it. Simple as that. I'm kind of okay with it because while I understand that it's not representative of the entire movie, I still want to see it. Of course I want to see it. I can watch something and go, oh, that's funny, or I've seen it, but I don't want to. I know that's not the movie, but there are so many more people out there, magnitudes more people who will just go ape shit from seeing it, and it's nothing like that. They destroyed all the cameras in the room it was showed. They went crazy. I don't know how they did it. It wasn't a teaser. We call it a teaser. It isn't. It was just a confirmation. It was just a confirmation that the movie is in production. Whatever. I want to see it because I'm kind of okay. What if it flops? It flops. Yeah, folks, that's like ungrateful bats there. I know. You show somebody something. It's like me saying, Hey, look, this is a cup. We're just confirming we're going to make cups. It's not going to look anything like this. You can't get the image out of your head that this cup looks like this. Can you? You can't do it. Although you can accept it. Like, you told your people and go, okay, I understand what you're saying by a cup. It's something to put water in. You instantly have this image in your head, and that's what they don't want to do. That's what they don't want to do. Orlando! Yeah, Team Orlando. Universal Orlando. Yeah, baby. Alright, guys. Oh my god, that is a shit cup, like Aranga. Aranga representing. I will see everybody in the morning. I will be live streaming. I think we're probably going to do some more sleeping dogs because it's awesome. And I want to get loads of unlocks in it. And I want to share in that thing with you. So I will see most of you, because I recognize a lot of faces in this chat. I will see you tomorrow. Probably around 8 AM. I expect to be on early tomorrow, like I was today. I will see you guys then. For everyone else, have a wonderful night. And it's the workshop tomorrow. So I'll probably finish live streaming probably about 2 PM tomorrow. Let's maybe do something like 6 hours tomorrow. Just so I can make sure the workshop's all nice and tidy. See you later, guys. Team Australia. Those are my guys in the morning. Team Australia are my guys. See you later, guys. Bye.